Okay, so, yeah, a couple things I wanted to talk about. As you know, I uploaded a video, maybe about a day ago about, Donald Trump blaming video games for these massacres. And if you watch any, right-wing show, or I've seen any, right-wing politicians speaking, not a single one has mentioned gun reform or gun legislation. Not a one. I've heard video games. I've heard social media. I've heard reference to movies. Anything but gun reform. They, even mental illness they'll throw in there. Anything. But they'll be like, man, the gun ain't the issue, bro. What are you talking about? Don't worry about the gun. What? Not a thing. Not a thing. And, I'm not surprised at all. But it's just, it's mind boggling, at times. Like, there's just been massacres and you can't even bring yourself to utter gun reform in any way, shape, or form. What's amazing is most American citizens want strict gun laws, strict gun legislation. They want it. Even members of the NRA, they want it, right? But the NRA themselves don't want that. So they're going to do, the politicians are going to do what their donors tell them to do as usual. Now, moving on to the next subject, Mitch McConnell. He's been getting freaking railroaded recently, and rightfully so. Whether you're calling him Massacre Mitch, Moscow Mitch, Where's Mitch, the whole shebang. He's being an a-hole, right? As we know, again, President Trump didn't cite any new gun legislation, in his public remarks Monday. And I mean, we're not going to see any such bills as long as the Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, as he calls himself, the proud obstructionist of Capitol Hill, keeps them off the Senate floor. For months now, he's been plug halting nearly every piece of legislation Democrats passed through the House, including gun measures that enjoy bipartisan support. All right. But the Democrats and, gun control activists, they were hoping after the Dayton situation and the El Paso situation that left tons of people dead, that they succeed in getting some, new kind of federal gun control measure in the law for the first time in decades, right? And that the pressure would be on McConnell in ways that he hasn't experienced before. And now mind you, this dude, Mitch McConnell, is so well known for his obstruction of, Democratic priorities that he brags about it. And he calls himself the Grim Reaper. Right? In his mind, what he's doing is he's killing the Democrats' socialist agenda. Right? The issue is the problem with McConnell's, boast of protecting the country from a socialist takeover is that the bipartisan bills passed through the House, and he has ghosted it along with, other things like election security, protections for people with pre-existing health conditions, that were brought to this country as undocumented children. And over this, this week, he put to bed, a new system of universal background checks for gun purchases. Something as simple as that. And he's not going to buckle. He is doubling down, and to the point where he said all it is bipartisan theatrics and campaign trail rhetoric. All right. That's how he sees a bill for universal background checks for gun purchases. Or a new system of universal background checks for gun purchases. He sees it as theatrics and campaign trail rhetoric. And look, I want to tell the Democrats, continue to apply pressure, but he's not. I cannot see him budging. He's Massacre Mitch. He doesn't give a crap. He feeds off of it. He likes being the guy that shoots these things down. He calls himself the Grim Reaper. I still remember before McConnell, he showed himself as a shameless political operator. During when he sat for nearly a year on Obama's nomination of Merrick Garland to the Supreme Court, and he argued it should be the next president's nomination. This dude he's not going to budge, even in this tragedy, even though it makes all the sense in the world. Massacre Mitch is going to hold steadfast to being the Grim Reaper, to being an a-hole. So he's of a different breed, let me tell you. And I do have some clips at the end of the video of people, they're pretty short clips, speaking on Mitch, saying what he should and shouldn't do, just to give you a more of a gist of the situation. But also, at the end of the video there were protesters outside of Mitch McConnell's house. And I saw Fox News talking about this. And I really don't make me say Fox News isn't wrong. Don't make me do that. I hate doing that. But Fox News wasn't wrong. Not that they couldn't protest. You want to protest? By all means, protest. But they recorded themselves saying some horrendous things. And they, Fox News got that on film and they ran with it. I'm going to play that at the end for you to see too. And I get it. I get that people are incredibly frustrated and they're angry. Like, I get their anger. But now that you've recorded this, and you recorded yourself saying these horrible things, they're going to take that and they're going to run with it. Fox News isn't going to run with the atrocious things, or the atrocious decision that McConnell has had. They're going to run with the protesters outside saying atrocious things, right? And you're taken away from your cause. So, if you want to protest, by all means. If the Dems want to apply pressure, by all means. But I don't think it's going to do a damn of a difference. I really don't. And, yeah, the Massacre Mitch, that's what we're calling him from now on. And that's what he's going to be known as. The Turtle, Massacre Mitch. So yeah, clips at the end. Feel free to view those. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't, let me know in the comments why. I'm always open to some debate. I'm always open for some conversation. You know what I mean? I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Peace.
Murder turtle! Murder turtle! Mitch, we know you're home! You, your wife. everything you stand for.
Hopefully somebody out there with some voodoo dolls in these.
Yeah, you know somebody is. That's probably what it is. Just stab the in the heart, please.
That's a joke. That's an absolute freaking joke. That he's going to tie this to the most polarizing issue happening in the United States today around immigration reform. This is very clear cut here. There are people that are getting access to guns that shouldn't be, and the guns are high powered. The magazines hold too many bullets, and they're coming to places like Dayton and El Paso, Walmarts, entertainment districts, churches like Mother Emanuel AME in South Carolina, and they're killing American citizens. Mitch McConnell needs to get off his ass and do something. People are getting killed in the streets in America, and nobody's acting. Nobody. There's a bottleneck in the United States Senate. The House has sent a comprehensive background check bill that's supported by 80 to 90% of the American people. What the hell are we doing in the United States of America? I'm telling you, people are fed up. We were here in Dayton last night. There were tears and there was rage. And people in Washington, D.C. and the state capitals need to get their act together and pass some legislation that 80 to 90% of the American people support. For the President of the United States, in the midst of this tragedy, both in the southernmost part of this country and in the northern part of this country, in the last 24 hours, lose 29 people, and he's going to tie this to immigration reform? That's a joke.